Hello everybody. Welcome to another episode of BrettonButtered. Now today I've got something real special for you. My brother and his cat Sparkplug are celebrating 16 years of being guardian pet owner, you know what I'm saying. So I wanted to do something real special for my brother. He loves his cat Sparkplug. He's his best friend. So I'm here in Morrison, Colorado, right by the Red Rocks. I'm not kidding you. The sun's about to set and there are a ton of mushrooms right in the backyard. Normally there'd be a little stream going, but it's been so dry, but there's a ton of mushrooms. I've got some shiitake. Actually, I found one shiitake, which is right here. That's the only one I found. And then there's a bunch of oyster mushrooms. So let's go gather some mushrooms so we can make the best wild mushroom pasta you've ever had in your entire life. And I got something real special for you. I got something special from Wisconsin. So let's go. So now when you're looking for mushrooms, there are different seasons, different times, different places, or different varieties of mushrooms occur. I like to look where there's cool, damp spots, forests under logs. In this case, we're here in Morrison, Colorado, and it is early June, which means there's some shiitakes and some oyster mushrooms. Now over here, there's a little pond, so it's a little moist, a little humid, and usually Colorado is quite dry, but I heard there are a ton from a hot tip. You ready? All right, so take a look over here. A giant oyster mushroom. This is the one I was looking for. Oh, look at this thing. I can't even take it. Look at this. Giant oyster mushroom. This is the whole substrate. What I'm gonna do is cut around. I'm not used to this altitude, I'm telling you. Okay, we're gonna cut this and then rip. Oh! Perfect. Exactly where I wanted to. So now we have these two beautiful lobes of brown oyster mushrooms. These mushrooms are delicate, they're mild, they cook easily. All you need is butter, salt, maybe some lemon. So I'll put that. Aaron's gonna love this, my brother. Okay, should we get more? My friend said go over the bridge, past the purple set of flowers, they're right here. I mean, these things are gorgeous, right? Past the pond, where the wind blows south, let's see. Yeah, I think he said past the faith plant. Oh my heavens, here it is. Right where he said it would be. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Now, look at this. I found look at these beauties. I mean, these things, oh, this one plucked off very perfect. Look at the color of this. Look at this. All right, so let's continue on, and we've got to get back because I've got some really special surprises we're gonna cook up with these mushrooms. All right. All right, so now for this pasta, my brother loves angel's hair in more ways than one. He thinks very thin, very delicate. And I mean, this stuff is just, the greatest part about it is that it simply cooks in 2 minutes. So you can just, and I mean, is there anything more beautiful than angel's hair? I don't think so. So what we'll do is we'll get this boiled, but first I've got to get some of my vegetables cut up. Now I've got something real special for you over here, right? All right, this is mushrooms, oyster mushrooms. They're very mild. They take on whatever flavor you put on them. Though they do have a wonderful, beautiful flavor themselves. However, and they pluck very easily like this. And you can just take them off, right? See, just like this. And they are fleshy, depending if they're more mature. When you cook them, they can have a bit of a, we'll call it chewy. So I like to slice them thin, and they saute very, very nicely in butter and garlic and salt. Sometimes I put some, I have these beautiful chives. I brought these chives back from Wisconsin. My mom planted them over 30 years ago, this beautiful chive patch, and I do actually. And so right here, we have a very, very, this is a lovely, lovely, almost we'll call it a purple wisteria chive color. Isn't that fantastic? And these little chive flowers, if you take them off, I'm not kidding, you can sprinkle them on salads, and they taste like sweet onions. You like scallions? You love chive flowers. You like obsession. Okay, so let's get these mushrooms cut. I'm gonna slice these, slice them, slice them, slice them, slice them just like this. Right? Now, listen, this is a ton of mushrooms. I don't think Sparkplug and Aaron can eat all of these mushrooms. And my brother is kind of fussy, but I've noticed if I just cook him something and don't tell him, then oftentimes people like things that they didn't know they love. So just, you know, sometimes mushroom haters are a little weird, and that is fine because different strokes, different folks. Okay, so let's continue cutting a couple more of these mushrooms. Mushrooms, when they cook out, are 85 to 95% water. So just think that's 85 to 95% that you're going to steam out, so they will shrink down to half the size. So now this one has a little dirt. You want to make sure when you cut your mushrooms that they make these special mushroom brushes, but since we're out here in the country, we have to be limited and our water supply is very low. But look at those beautiful gills like that, and just a wonderful divine flavor. I have always loved mushrooms. I like garlic, I like mushrooms, and one of my favorite pizzas is mushroom fungi with, what is it, mushroom in hand. Oh, it's divine. Okay, so, you know, every culture kind of has their mushroom. Eastern Europeans, Russians, who else? Italians, Spanish, everybody loves it. The French, they love their mushrooms. Cepas, oh, those people go nuts for porcinis. So we've got a couple little garlic cloves, and now I've got a lot of things going on here, but we have over here this pan. I've been using these induction burners, and what I do is, this is really smart, I'm not gonna say it, but if I have a couple pans I'm ready, I keep it on low, and I keep all the little pans stacked. Look at this one. I'm gonna cook an egg in here later. It's the cutest little cast iron pan, and so these are all hot, and I can set them aside, and then when I'm ready to use them, they'll already have retained their heat. Okay, so I think we've cut up just a few mushrooms. Get this over here. You know, camping in the wilderness is one of the most fun things. I don't know if you can hear the crickets chirping, but where else can you just... All right, so we've got these beautiful mushrooms here. We'll just add a little bit of butter to the pan, and I think we'll just get this sauteed right up. Now, I did have some time somewhere, and while the mushrooms are sauteing, we will simply, let's see, I'll just put that in there. Oh, I had garlic and I've lost it. All right, so I just kind of crush my garlic like this, give it a little smash, make sure I get all the little parts out, and then we'll just kind of throw that whole thing in there. You know, I'm not too careful when I cut up the garlic, as I'm not concerned about it. Sometimes I like a whole clove, and that way people that don't like garlic can take out the flavor still there. All right, so we'll got this, and all right, so smash that. All right, perfect. Okay, now give that a saute, and I think we can just put these mushrooms right in here, cranking up the heat to a number 8 on the induction burner. Oh, this is really exciting. Now, mushrooms take a lot of salt, right? So when you're doing, I like to season them a little bit while you're cooking, because when you add salt to anything while you cook it, it helps to release some of the moisture. And when we're cooking, remember, moisture is just what we just want to get rid of it. All right, so here there's a couple more garlic cloves, and then while that's happening, I'm going to cut my chives, right? So these chives, I mean, I'm gonna keep some of the flowers whole, but I love that these are here, and I love chives, I love the flavor. Chives are, they say, I've heard from many different cultures, that chives are these alliums that have many, many wonderful cancer-fighting properties. You know, I can't say whether that's true or not, but I can say that I believe it, because I'll believe anything. So as you can see, when I turn my mushrooms, I like to get the heat up, and then lost one. And then you give them, see, so some of them will get a nice little brown sear on that. And that's exactly what we want. They're already beginning to soften. I mean, this is just absolutely crazy. I like to have a little, little lemon right here. We want to have a lemon ready. I have some chives ready. And I have something very special I wanted to show you. Are you ready for it? All right, okay. Let's go in here. And we'll just leave this open here. And I have something, I pulled these out. These are ramps from Wisconsin. I dug them out in my friend Ann Ebenrunder's backyard. I'm not kidding you. She had ramps in her backyard. And these are ramps. It's a very funny name, but they're like a spring onion, a spring leek. And these are very mature, but I'm going to cut these up and you can eat the whole thing. These are like the leaves. They kind of got battered because I brought them in the airplane. But we'll cut these up. You know, all good dishes sort of start with a base, you know. garlic, onions, shallots, and there's so many different ones in the family. I'll just kind of chop that up. I like to give it a rough chop because they will soften up. And I mean, you can see this. They actually begun to flower, right? So you know that they're very mature. People pickle these little bulbs, and we'll get that a little stir. Oh my goodness, this color. I mean, let's find one that's real nice. All right, so we got some. Let's taste it. And a little more salt. A little more salt. Okay. So a couple more of these ramps thrown right in there. Chop, chop, chop. And nice salads. You know, you think of greens as, people always say, oh, you know, what should I do with this? What can I do? You just, if you throw it in a pan and you cook it, I'm sure it's going to be, like, I throw these chives in there, more chives. We have so many chives. The chives, they spread. All right. And then, let's get a couple more ramps in there. All right, now bear with me here while we do this, because this is not going to take long. And I'll tell you, I have to cook the pasta yet, but it's going to cook in 2 minutes, and these will be good. And I'll throw a little extra butter in here. All right, some more ramps, all those beautiful leaves. You know, people ask what the flavor is. Well, it's unique. It's like a scallion, it's like a leek. It can be a pungent onion flavor. They are very, very fragrant when they are wrapped in a bag. I brought them on the airplane, and you can definitely feel that somebody had. You've ever had a bag of chives? Almost kind of gets that cruciferous flavor. We should just take a moment to say that we're outside cooking in the canned ham camper right behind us. We have electricity. I mean, this is just, I can't even believe this. You know, sometimes I like to add a little beer. We only use the finest Rocky Mountain spring water for our beer and our pasta when my brother and his cat have their 16-year anniversary. Thank you, Coors. All right, so we're gonna crank this heat up. We're almost done here. I mean, this is how simple this is. This is not complicated. This is stuff that, like, if I didn't crack pepper, you've got everything laid out. I've got salt and pepper, and you know what the other secret is? I haven't even told you yet. It's lemon. Lemon should be on everything. Ask the Greeks how they feel about lemon. Why do you think they have the best skin in the world? And ask any Greek, they invented everything. I'm not kidding you. I have a Greek friend. She'll tell you. She will tell you. So we're gonna add a little lemon in there, and that just gives it the zing, the zest. Everybody says, people are like, oh, what's the difference? You know, what is the difference between restaurant cooking and, I don't know, I think it's lemon. All right, you know what? I'm gonna add a couple more mushrooms because they're already shrinking down. And spark plug, I know, is going to do this. So then while these last mushrooms are cooking, we can just crank up the heat, and then we'll get the boiling water and we'll cook the angel hair pasta. But pretty much our work is done here. All right, so listen, I just was like, I have this habit where I'm like, oh, I don't want to use all of this, and sometimes then I save it, and then and then it's in the fridge, and I go, why don't I just throw everything in there? Because you know what happens is somebody always gets hungry, and somebody always shows up. And have you ever been to somebody's house? Everybody's eating, and they don't offer you food. If you are one of those people that don't offer food to people, I don't like to tell or give advice or anything, but I would like to say, always offer people food. Food, drink. Somebody walks in the door, you say, what can I get you to drink? Are you hungry? And I swear the world will be a better place. That's all it is. I bet that, shiitake mushroom, look at this baby. All right, now listen, nature's little secret, I'm not gonna lie, you guys. We're gonna add a little bit of extra. A little butter. We don't call it BrettonButtered for nothing. I did not. And I'll tell you the secret that nobody knows about me is I come from the land of butter in both ways. Named after a Brittany great-grandfather, a Bretton That's Brittany. They have the best butter. I've never been there, but I know that it's the best butter. And of course, being from Wisconsin, we do have some of the best butter. So I've, not only is it in my name, it's in my blood. All right, so we're gonna throw this off here. A little light stir, and then I just think little splash of salt. And then we can finish it with just a little more. Not enough beer. We can always add more beer. In fact, I think I have one more right behind me. There's nothing better than an ice cold Coors Banquet. You know, I love Coors Banquet beer because when I'm cooking for my friends and my family, I want a classic smooth taste that doesn't have too much alcohol so I can keep going the whole night, so that when my friends come over and their friends come over and there's extra pasta, I have the energy because of Coors Banquet. The name, Banquet. It's in there, folks. It's all about caring for other people, and that's what Coors does, and that's why I drink Coors. All right, so let's get that pasta cooked, all right? All right. All right. So the pasta is ready, and we will throw this out. Here we are. Let's drain the pasta water right here in our special draining. Okay, perfect. All right, so angel hair is ready right there. And I think I actually have something very specific to set this under. Right there. And then we'll get this going. So here we are, the final stages. And we'll get this heated up, as you can already tell. And we'll put some of our pasta. I always keep this on me, one of my handiest tools, a tongs. You don't need to get the fancy ones. Look at this steamy angel hair. Oh. Now, with this particular pasta, oh dear. Now make sure you always have the candles lit. Candles lit, music playing, pasta. Perfect. That's how you know it's done. All right, so now we'll crack this in and we'll give this a stir up. And here we are, and of course we'll add our secret ingredient, which is another pat of butter. Oh, another pat of butter. Oh my gosh. You know what? Fell into the wood chips, but I bet if I just get that little top part. Now here's the thing. I think that's gonna be okay. All right, perfect. You know what? I don't have the money or the resources to mess around. And honestly, this soil is 100% organic and permaculture based. All right, so we've got that. This pasta is getting real hot. Folks, we're ready to have one of the best ramp pastas. I'm at the last minute going to take a handful of chive flowers because this is, and we're just going to toss this into here and it's going to give that beautiful, lovely flavor. A touch of beer, a squeeze of lemon. Watch the seeds. Air my hand, told you. And then that is our pasta. And here we are. And we have this beautiful, beautiful mushroom pasta. Now listen, I want to put an egg on this pasta. So give me 1 second. Let's switch saute pans. And I'll just get this little fried egg right here. Careful, it's very hot. We'll switch this out. And we'll get this little egg in here. Okay, this is not registering, so we're gonna have to use this one. I mean, I really did, I'm gonna have to get some of that butter out of there. All right, just be very careful. We don't want to let anybody know that we used the butter that fell in the wood chips. Even the wood chips, I have heard, are anti-cancer. So we're actually doing everybody a favor. Now, I've got these gorgeous farm fresh eggs. My friend John has these chickens, our kind of hens, those beautiful green eggs and these purple ones, and you just simply crack an egg. We'll put in here. Eggs are the best. I love to have a runny yolk. We'll do one more. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Now don't throw the shells away. You make sure you compost everything because those chickens will eat those again. And then you have some bubbly eggs. Let's keep that on the heat like that. And this will take a hot second. I'm gonna put this to help keep the egg so the egg cooks faster. I know I'm pretty smart. And then we'll do that. And then we'll take some chives, more chives. This is chive pasta. If anybody ever says, dude, you put too much chives on, ask them politely to leave the room and never come back for dinner. So we're gonna have this nice little pasta for my brother. I'm gonna plate it up real nicely. As you can see, the eggs steam perfectly on top. Add a little bit of salt, add a little crack of pepper. Oh my God, that's perfect. Now, that's the great thing. Induction comes off and we are ready to plate this pasta. All right, okay. Oh, he's gonna love this pasta, I just know it. All these fresh mushrooms, angel's hair. Angel's hair is just perfect. It's gonna have this. And you know what we're gonna show him? We're gonna put a double egg in it. I'm telling you. Look at this. Pasta with a fried egg. That yolk is gonna become the sauce, and we're gonna take these little chive flowers and we're just gonna sprinkle them on top. And that's it. And we have some chive flour pasta. Maybe take a little, look at this. There's still wheat in there. It's organic, it's 100% organic. Okay, so that's it. Some little extra chives, and there we are. It's like breakfast pasta, but for dinner. But for your cat's anniversary. All right, so let's go surprise my brother, and let's see what happens. Aaron, your dinner's ready. All right, here he is. Spark plug's right here, waiting for Aaron on there. There he is. Will Sparkplug come in if you call him? Yeah. Sparkplug, come here. All right, Aaron, I made you a pasta for your 16-year anniversary. Sparkplug. Like it's homemade pasta, angel's hair pasta with wild oyster mushrooms, wild Sparkplug. Oh, he loves it. He loves it. I knew he'd be so happy. And farm fresh chicken eggs. So I'll let them go eat this on the dinner plate. We'll be waiting for you, Sparkplug. Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Oh, I knew they'd be happy. All right, perfect. So now let's get them a cocktail. I used to work at this bar in Wisconsin. I learned how to bartend. In Wisconsin, you can be 18 years old and bartend. And the bartender says, he goes, here's how you make a strong drink. He goes, you pack it with ice. And he goes, you pack it with ice with your hand. And my grandpa, he loved dry. He'd always go like this. And you fill it with booze. And just like that. And that. Now look, the ice will finally settle in and you'll get a glass that's filled, because otherwise people pour it too little and you want to get value. And also, you're drinking vodka, so you don't have to worry about anything. It's odorless, colorless, and tasteless. It doesn't matter. It's not even real alcohol. We'll squeeze the lemon to cover up the taste of the ethanol, and then we'll put it on the table, and I'll make my drink. I have just enough ice for two. Oh, this is gonna be so fun, I can't wait. You know, throwing a dinner party makes it special. Life is meant to be filled with special moments, and every day can be special, and it doesn't have to cost you a lot. It doesn't have to be crazy, but honoring vodka on ice, that it's your favorite cocktail, is special. So let's go put this down, put the ice back, and we'll get his plate of pasta ready. Dinner time, okay. So this is the best time. I've prepared the dinner. The cocktails are made. And we'll just put this over here. This is just gonna go right over there. And finally, it's the time to celebrate the 16-year anniversary of Sparkplug and Aaron together. Now, I would just like to say, Sparkplug, you've been around a long time, teaching us many lessons, as cats always do. And he wants to do what he wants to do, and that's what we've learned.
Anybody? You go up there.
So here we have the pasta this evening. Sparkplug and Aaron have prepared for you angel hair pasta with sauteed, brown buttered ramps, and of course, hand-harvested oyster mushrooms. A little lemon, a little garlic, and a fried farm-fresh backyard Denver chicken egg, which becomes the sauce itself. And you can squeeze the lemon right on this like this. Salt and pepper, optional. And cheers.
Hey, happy 16th. Spark plug.
Happy 16th. Now let's try this pasta.
And that's not bad.
All in all, I would say this was a really successful time. We celebrated a cat and a human's bonding, which symbolizes several things. Number one, the fact that humans are, at this point, allowed to tame the beast, and yet the beast tames the human. Their food, together, drinks, every day becomes special just like this. So go ahead, celebrate.